Hi Virgo, thank you so much for being here. This is going to be your reading for October. We are going to be reading for you and a noun, and as usual and always, my readings are guided and protected by love, peace, balance, truth, and healing. So let's get started. First card is going to be you, Virgo. Where is Virgo as they're watching this video? We got the Six of Cups. It's almost like you're done. You're done reminiscing about a time that was maybe even non-existent for some of you. But when you look back at a time where things could have been or things just were once upon a time, in the past, regardless, nostalgia, right? Looking at a time that is no longer here. You're just done with that. There might have been a huge chunk of your life where you were doing that often. Like imagining a time where things were better, and maybe even if things weren't even that better, it's just like being addicted to the illusion of a time that just isn't here, right? Escaping. I'm getting that you're done with that. You are ready to be here in the present moment with what is to come, and that's good. That's good, especially with the solar eclipse around the weekend. It's a good time. It's a good time to do that, to release anything, any karma in your past that you're just ready to let go, that maybe you were clinging on to. Where's Virgo's noun? Where's Virgo's noun? And this feeling of like letting go, of like, I'm not going to entertain that anymore, has really been significant. Maybe the past 6 months or 6 days, 6 weeks. Doesn't have to be. Something is making you feel like the present is better. The present is more important. And like I said, that's good. That's really good. Might be a little sad even though you have every reason to be here in the present. Might be a little sad, but that's okay. That's normal, Virgo. Where is Virgo's noun? What is Virgo's noun? We got the Six of Wands, the Six of Swords, the Queen of Swords, the Five of Pentacles, and the Nine of Cups. There's a lot to celebrate here and now. I think that's why you're not entertaining the past so much, because you know it's time to move on with what is being presented here now. It's like you've been cultivating sparks, a new purpose, more motivation here and now. Maybe you got a promotion at work, or maybe you've reached a new level in a relationship, or maybe you've got a new relationship. Just something has happened in your life here and now that is offering this sense of like, you know what, yeah, it's time to move on. At the end of the day, all I have is me, myself, and I. And that's what's important with my mind, right? And it's interesting because it's like the moment you start getting in this dialogue within yourself, then that conversation comes in of, but why did me, perhaps for some of you, why did I waste so much time in that? Why did it have to happen that way? Because even though I have everything now, it just feels like something's missing. Even if I don't have time to look in the past, even if I don't have truly the desire the way I did before to look at the past, now that I'm here in the future, still something's missing. That's normal, Virgo. That is. Especially because we're talking about releasing something. So of course, if you're going to release something, there's going to be an empty space there. There's still a lot to be thankful for and grateful for and to boast about. Maybe that's what's needed right now, to boast. Boast so that life doesn't seem that cold. Life doesn't have to seem that hard. Especially because you have someone in your life who is following your every footstep, or is being influenced, is being inspired by your every move. This can be a family member, this can be someone at work, this could be a relationship. So just keep that in mind. You know, as sad and as painful it can feel, as depressing it can feel to have walked away what feels like so much. The universe is saying it is equally balanced with a lot to celebrate. And that's why you're able to look forward, you're able to look at your future and be like, yeah, I got me. If it wasn't for what is coming in to give you that spark again, you wouldn't be able to look at your future in such a very diplomatic, strong, logical way. So let's keep that in mind. When it comes up to that whole but it's gotten, I had to go through so much to get here. I feel alone. I know I'm alone for some of you guys. Just remember that once again, there's people around you who feel that, who are listening, who are inspired with the way you carry yourself. And if there is, for some of you guys who are like, there's really no one in my life who can read me, who know me that well to even be able to read, to know that, for me to inspire them that way, then just remind yourself that we have a duality within us. We have a Holy Trinity within us. We have the yin yang, the light wolf, the dark wolf. And if the dark wolf within us is constantly thinking, oh well, man, we had to go through so much just to get here. Okay, yeah, sure, we'll look at the future in a very clear, logical, almost cold way. The other part of you is listening. Always. And maybe that's why the other part of you feels like, well, I have a lot to boast about, but I feel empty. I feel like something's missing. Once again, it's because of this conversation within you. And it's normal. It's like an imbalance is what I'm feeling within you. There's like an imbalance within you. I think what's really missing here, we'll get more clarity with the cards, but I think what's missing here is you loving yourself. You loving yourself and cutting the bullying of like thinking you constantly have to defend yourself. You constantly have to compare yourself. Like, what's missing is you loving yourself so much to where you're not afraid to give. You're not afraid to give your energy, your compassion, your empathy to others, all because of like where you've been or what you've gone through up until now. Like, not being afraid to do that, all because of like what's happened in the past. Like, I'm sensing that you've been very defensive as of lately. And it's because of the beauty that's finally coming back into your life, the sparks that you're receiving again in your life somehow. Maybe once again it's like a promotion, and then it's like you get a promotion and it's like, well, now I have to like protect this even more because I worked so hard to get here, and it's like I don't want anyone to take this away from me. Or in a relationship, you finally met someone who makes you feel like, you know what, like maybe the present moment isn't so bad. Maybe I did have to walk away from all that. Maybe I do have to let all of that go so that I can be here now with this person. But apart from being pessimistic still with life, you are also being very defensive. And if this is not you, this is what you're involved with, and it's influencing this on you. But this is what I'm getting. I'm getting that this is you. You got 3 6s here and 2 5s. The 6 of Cups, the 6 of Wands, the 6 of Swords. Very dual, 3 and 3, right? The 6 of Cups, having a life before that seemed very great, seemed perfect, seemed like you're just yearning for a time before. Maybe an old position, an old relationship, an old time with your family. And then you now. The 6 of Wands, a time before where you were like in the bleachers or like in the audience seeing this performance, and you wanting to be in that performance. The performance can be a promotion, a relationship, a new dynamic within your family, and then you being here now, being on the stage. The 6 of Swords, being in a very toxic situation, being in a very I'll just leave it at that, toxic situation within your home. And home is a feeling, so wherever you're supposed to feel safe in, it just didn't feel safe in. You didn't feel safe in, and then now removing yourself from that toxic situation, right? A lot of duality here. And then we have the 5 of Pentacles, a lot of debate about how painful life has been, why we should defend ourselves with the 5 of Swords, why we should constantly one-up someone and entertain future scenarios that aren't even here, so that we can be prepared in case they happen, so we can defend ourselves, being very quick with our minds and our words, when we don't have to be that way. Some advice here from the universe. Put some advice overall here for Virgo. One more shuffle. Oh, there we go. We got the 3 of Swords reversed and the 8 of Wands reversed. They came out reversed, right? I flipped them over. You're doing what the universe is advising you to do. You are doing it, but the universe is saying maybe don't be so cautious about it or so slow with it. Removing the swords from your heart, removing the pain, removing yourself from situations. You're doing it all by putting yourself on stage, by bringing yourself in the present moment and letting go of the past, by removing yourself from toxic situations and going towards calmer waters. You're doing all of that. But the universe is saying, where's your sense of urgency though? Like, you're so good at looking at your future in a very logical way, which can bring a lot of speed with visuals and imagining and goals. Like, if you look at your future not in an emotional way, you can clearly see what needs to be done. You can clearly see what you have to do to get from point A to point B to point C to get towards your goals, because you're not letting emotions stop you. You're not letting your emotions stop you from how getting from point A to point B will make you feel. You're just like, well, I just need to do that. There's a lot of speed in that, right? And you're doing that. You're able, all of this is making you see your future in a very like, yeah. It's not to say that you're super cold, because like I said, you still feel like something's missing, and that's emotion. You still feel like something's missing. The universe is saying, where's the sense of urgency with healing yourself, with removing negativity from your life and removing yourself from negativity, so that you can fill the void within you with love and what you truly want. Let's get a dark mirror oracle. We all have remember how I was telling you we have the light and the dark wolf. What is the dark wolf constantly telling you as of now in this month, as of now when you're watching this? What is the dark wolf telling Virgo? We got black flower fragrance, number 16. And if you see, she has like, her heart is blooming a black flower that's releasing a fragrance. It's making me, it's making me feel like your dark wolf is being like, well, that's why you should be very cautious and defensive with even trying to fill in the void within your heart, because the moment you do, it's like the light is going to attract all the moths and you're just going to get hurt again. Once again, that defense, like being very paranoid, being very defensive because of what you've been through. And on top of that, nothing compares to a time before. It's like telling your, not because we started the reading with you learning to let this go, but there's a huge part of you, the dark wolf, the 50% of you, and that's being balanced. There's an imbalance here, so it's a little bit more than 50% of you that is telling you there was a time before that it was just better. And if you try to open your heart now, you're only going to attract worse. That's your dark wolf. Just know that. Know that your dark wolf is that part of you that's telling you that. When you start feeling that, imagining that, telling yourself that, just know that that's the dark wolf. And who's in control here? It's not to say that I don't like when people say you should starve the dark wolf. No. The dark wolf is part of you. It's there to help you. It's to remind you of the pain and the lessons, rather than how things happen, why things happen is what's missing here though, right? And that's why it's important to have the dark wolf there, to remind you why things happened. The light wolf in Virgo. The light wolf in Virgo, what is a light wolf saying, so that we can focus on feeding it more, so that we can fill that void within us, so that we can focus on the good and learn to celebrate the wins in life a little bit more with ease and less competition and more speed, right? Let's see, one card here for Virgo. Evolution. We got another 6. 24 adds up to 6. Evolution, number 6. There's a time before There was a time before and a time now. And the time before was the caterpillar. And the time now is the butterfly. Except you're not out here fluttering yet. You are still evolving, changing your DNA into being a butterfly. The universe is saying, be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with yourself. It's okay. We can be our own biggest critics. We are. Worse than anyone else out there, especially because if someone out there tells us something that hurts us, we will repeat it until it ends up controlling us, right? And the light wolf is telling you, learn to relish in your emotions, all emotions, no matter what they are. If you need a good cry, cry. If you're angry, sit down and see not only how are you angry, how are you handling your anger, but why are you angry? And usually why we're angry most of the time, it's because we're sad about something. Why are you sad? Why are you happy about something? And how are you channeling that happiness? You know? And what about the emotions that you want to feel, that you're yearning for the future? You are allowed to evolve so that when you become the butterfly, you can flutter the way you truly want to flutter. And that's what's amazing right now, this period right now, especially with the solar eclipse around the weekend. If you're going to practice this anytime, let it be this weekend, that you can evolve into who you truly want to be. And it's not going to be perfect. We're not perfect, but it's all a learning process. But it's about setting the intention. Setting the intention in who you want to be for you, for the people around you, for your work, for your family, for your legacy. Know that you are loved, Virgo. And it's always really good talking to you guys. I hope this video helped. I will talk to you guys again soon.